Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Jose Castillo, and welcome to Instagram versus Vine. This is a full-on grudge match, a throwdown between two social video sharing sites, and we're going to dig in a little bit and talk about the different apps, how they work, how some big brands and companies are using these tools to share information and to build their business models. This is a really fun topic for me, and I hope that we're going to make it hands-on and interactive with you all. So I'm going to start out with a few questions of you, the audience, to find out who you guys are and if you're using it and how deep I need to go or how shallow I need to go. So let's start out with, how many folks here have a Vine account? Raise your hand if you have used Vine before, the app. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. What about Instagram? How many of you have an Instagram account? Okay, excellent. Now, out of those, how many of you have actually posted a video on either one of those? Okay, great, all of you. How many of you have used a Vine or Instagram for a business, actually using it to do posts for a business? Okay, only 2. Okay, excellent. What I'd encourage you to do is, if you haven't done it yet, is go ahead and take your device out right now. Your mobile device. Currently, Vine is, and I'll talk a little bit about which platforms they're used, but you can actually find it in the App Store. Just go and get Vine or Instagram. Go ahead and download it now if you don't have it. And there's going to be a contest. I'm going to do a little search at the end of the panel or at the end of the discussion today. And whoever's posted the best Vine or Instagram video will win a prize. And it's not a big prize, I'm just going to tell you right now. It's not a car or anything. But what I would do is do hashtag SMWest13. So if you upload a video throughout the session today with Vine or Instagram, make sure you tag it, hashtag SMWest13, and we'll look at them at the end of the session and find out who's got the best ones. So do something cool, creative, sneaky. Yes? Video only, no photos. We're just talking about video today. I know, you're like, I can get a cool photo and do the Hefeweizen filter on it and it'll be great. I don't know if that's a filter for Instagram, but it sounds like one. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the theoretical side of why should we use these, etc. But we're also going to get into a little bit of the workflow and actually post some videos in the session today. So with about half of you having already downloaded or used this tool for personal or business use, some of you guys probably could get up here and do this talk as well. But I do want to go through some of the basics. And before I do that, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. Like I said, my name is Jose Castillo. I'm at Think Jose on both Vine and Instagram. So you can find me and follow me and share things. And if you want to hashtag or share or tag me in photos or videos today, that's fine. But this is where you can find some of the interesting videos and photos that I post over the course of what I do. I write, speak, and consult about technology. I spend a lot of time being a half geek, so standing between geeks and people with money and helping them make good business decisions about what tools to use. I'm also a contributing editor for Streaming Media Magazine and have written for them for about 8 years now and have worked the shows for a while as well. So let's talk a little bit about both Instagram and Vine and just some topics of conversation. First of all, Instagram was born on October 2010. It seems like eons ago in social media terminology, but it was bought in April 2012 by Facebook for $1 billion. Yes, that's billion with a B. And if you probably saw the news recently of Snapchat founder turning down the $1 billion offer from Facebook for Snapchat, Instagram was quite happy to take that mix of cash and stock and get bought by Facebook. Now, according to the latest numbers, September 2013, there are 150 million active users. Now, this is interesting to note, and when they say 150 million active users, they're actually saying that that is the number of people that use it at least once a month. So if you're logging on to Instagram and posting a photo once a month, you are considered an active user. That's how they classify that. Instagram does photo and video. It started out with photo only and was sort of this hip, square, Polaroid style format of photos. They have filters, tagging, location, social sharing to Facebook and Twitter and Foursquare integration, location-wise, and 15-second videos. So when you are posting photos or videos on Instagram, you can actually get up to 15 seconds. You press and hold the screen to record video, and you can hold it for 15 seconds, or you can press and hold and release and do stop motion. And we'll see some cool little clips of that here in just a little bit. Now a little bit about Vine. Vine was born on June 2012 by a couple of cool dudes and bought in October of 2012 by Twitter. Now here's the interesting thing is they didn't even launch the product yet. They were just bought because they had some cool brains behind the idea. So there was no public product yet when they got bought by Twitter. They did launch in January of 2013 as an internal Twitter tool, primarily deeply integrated with Twitter. And as of August 2013, they have 40 million registered users. Now, you'll notice the difference between active users and registered users. Basically, Twitter is saying that there are 40 million people that have signed up for an account for Vine. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's that many active users on a monthly basis. So already we're seeing the gap a little bit between Instagram and Vine. Vine, again, has 6-second video clips. Again, that cool hip square format. Press and hold recording. No filters. Sorry, that's not. It was supposed to be tagging, social tagging, so you can tag your friends, other @Twitter user folks. Location, done by Foursquare as well. Social sharing to Twitter and Facebook. And then what's interesting is there's actually 6.5-second videos. So you probably saw on the thing, if you've ever recorded a Vine video and it shows up in your camera roll, you'll notice that that video is actually 7 seconds long. And what they did is the video is actually 6.5 seconds long. So when you press and hold, they wanted to give you an extra half second for when your thumb hit it. So the videos are 6.5 seconds long, 7 seconds at your camera roll. They advertise it as 6 seconds. It's a half a second. I think we're, mincing words. So let's take a little look here and actually pull up some videos. I think what's interesting in several of the conversations that I've had with folks over the years about both Vine and Instagram are that they're buzzwords used in a lot of presentations. People like talking about it and saying, oh, we're using this for marketing or content creation. But a lot of times executives or people in positions that are making decisions about these tools have never used them or even seen them or even see what they look like. So we're going to go through and look at some examples of several different things and talk about what they look like and how they function. One of the interesting things for Twitter is since Vine obviously is integrated into Twitter directly, when you pull up a Vine on the web through Twitter, it actually stays embedded in your tweet. This is me being silly at Thanksgiving last year. And my wife posted that online. So there you go. And what you'll see is that Vine loops. So it'll play for that 6.5 seconds and then loop back around. There's a couple different features. You can turn on and off the volume. So you can hear my kids laughing in the background. That's a gorgeous thing to hear my daughters laugh. And I enjoy doing that on a regular basis. So you'll get that little 6.5 second looping clip. And that just loops infinitely and, again, embedded on through a Twitter post. And of course, we had Flash plugin crash there. So let's take a look at Huffington Post is now doing a weekly Best Vines of the Week. Vines have become so popular now that they have spurred on all these social media accounts that all they do is go through and pull all the best Vines and put them into YouTube videos and monetize those videos. The latest YouTube video online has, I think, 6 million views on YouTube, and it's just a collection of the hottest Vines. So literally people are taking all these different Vines, these little 6-second clips that people are creating and mashing them all together into these 70-minute montages and putting them up on YouTube. There's actually a Vine of the Week YouTube account that's unauthorized by Vine and that actually generates these millions and millions of views on YouTube. It's really crazy. Oh, come on here. Where is it? Here we go. So we'll just watch a few of these here. Some creative vines. That's one that Starburst obviously did a little ad programming there.
But really, do you think this hat makes me look fat? You're a
By the way, there's a little language in here. Sorry,
disappear.
probably should have.
Okay, thank you.
When you lock your keys in your car,
I can speak to pigeon.
Zipcam.
Zipcam!
Always remember you're beautiful, kind, and special.
So there you go. You get a little idea of some of the taste of what Vines can do. And what's amazing to me is that the power of storytelling in 6 seconds. And there's some really creative accounts of people that have done amazing storytelling in the span of 6 seconds. It really focuses and dehydrates all the other crap out of it and says, look, you've got my attention for 6 seconds, you better hold it. So there's really some interesting vines to see out there. And we'll show a few little more here in just a second. So let's take a look at some of some Instagram videos. This is one that I did a little stop motion of, and we'll just take a look here. These are all taken in the place that I get my hair done. They're big Think Jose fans. I like putting stickers up there. So that's a little clip that I did of just some photos around the place that I get my hair done. When you go to Instagram.com, and that pulls up and plays in its own little player right here, and you can link to those. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the brands that are using Instagram and Vine. To start with, Taco Bell has done an amazing job with their marketing department. They're really some of the coolest social media proponents that I see out of there. I'm sure it's one of their many digital agencies that has, stepped into their shoes and said, hey, we're cool and creative and we're going to do funky stuff. But I don't know if you remember, but when Taco Bell announced their Cool Ranch Dorito Taco, the taco shell that was basically a Cool Ranch Dorito, people were nuts over the original nacho one that came out, and everybody's going crazy. So they made the official announcement for a product that they were going to release on Vine. It was really interesting that they used this social media platform as a way to make a major product announcement for their entire brand. They posted a little clip of the Cool Ranch Dorito taco coming out of a bag. And it was something that was really, really cool, and they've continued to do a good job of using those. Anytime you get into short video clips, you're going to see product announcements, large news announcements, things like that people are using these for. Second, a really good example for this was Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone did a couple of really unique reveals with their Vine account, which has since gone a little stagnant. Interesting to see that little social creep, which always tends to happen. But they actually announced several of their magazine covers on Vine. And what they did was they would post a Vine the day before with Post-it notes all over it. And then they would slowly remove each Post-it note and go through and play the Vine with all the Post-it notes being removed. And then at the end, you see it's Bob Dylan on the cover of Rolling Stone. Again, a really creative use for this tool for them to be able to say, hey, here is our latest product announcement, and here's how we're going to reveal that by using a product like Vine. Instagram. Some of the announcements that Instagram and partnerships with them. CNN iReport. We've used this example a lot in streaming media in general. Just the CNN using individuals all over the world with smartphones to capture video and share that with CNN that they then play back actually on CNN on cable news. CNN iReport is using Instagram with the hashtag CNN iReport. So anybody can capture a 15-second clip, hashtag it CNN iReport, and then guess what? CNN goes through and just searches for that hashtag and finds all these videos. So during natural disasters, during political events, things like that, you'll see the hashtag CNN iReport just go through the roof of people posting Instagram videos and sharing news as it happens via a hashtag on Instagram. Really interesting to see what they're doing there. Another example of Instagram as a brand is one that I'm closely tied in with, which is Bristol Motor Speedway. Bristol Motor Speedway is one of the top NASCAR tracks in the country. They have 160,000 fans that come out to watch a race. And one of the interesting things about NASCAR is that the licensing rights state that you cannot post video clips from within the track at any point during the course of a weekend, from the day before the race starts till the day after the last race. Those broadcasting rights are owned by ESPN or Fox or whoever is carrying that race. So one of the ways that they've kind of interestingly gotten around that, not just Bristol, but all of the tracks have said, these little short video clips are okay. And for whatever reason, they've been able to kind of say, we're just posting something that's, a short little clip of video, and we're going to show a little part of what's going on here at the track. It used to be years ago when I worked I still work in NASCAR, but years ago, if you brought a camera into the track, every single camera that was there had to have a tag on it. And now obviously they can't put a tag on every single smartphone in the stadium. It would be insane. So we're starting to see these little social media clips, these little video clips pop up of the race that never would have been there before. And as a matter of fact, let's take a little look at what Bristol is doing on their Instagram page. It's pretty interesting stuff. So this is the pace lap right before they're getting ready to drop the green flag on the race. And they have one of their social media marketing folks that's in the little crow's nest stand where the professional photographers and videographers are, and he's holding an iPhone. And he's sitting right there next to guys with $10,000 cameras, holding his iPhone, shooting these little Instagram video clips that they then post right away. And for instance, this one got 208 likes. And people were commenting on it saying, hey, I'm watching it right now. So they're watching the race on TV and watching an Instagram video clip on their phone at the same time. It's really interesting to see how brands are engaging these little social media clips, these little video clips, to add to something that's already an experience. Pull this back up here. So let's talk a little bit about which one you should use and why. And I posted earlier in the day, this was actually this morning, I posted a photo and said, hey, excited about talking about Instagram and Vine today, Instagram versus Vine, looking forward to speaking on it. A friend of mine who runs social media for Food Network and HGTV and a lot of their big brands commented on my Facebook thing and said, Jose, why are we still talking about this? It's clear one has already won. And I think most of us would probably agree that Instagram seems to be the 900-pound gorilla that's, doing a really good job of integrating video. There's a reason that I think they were able to do that, and that's because they started with photos. And they said, here is what we're really good at. And when they launched this app, it was actually a nostalgia thing. It was a retro thing. Because how many of you guys remember a Polaroid camera? You remember a Polaroid camera? What would you do? You'd take a picture, you'd hold it under your armpit, or you'd flap it, right? And you'd wait for that photo to come out. and then you would instantly share it. And that's exactly what Instagram started out as saying, we want to take a photo and then be able to instantly share it with that same nostalgia and retro feel. They were one of a crop of, literally hundreds of photo sharing apps that came out at that moment. They were able to create the groundswell of support and build their user base really quickly because they kept it simple. There were actually Instagram people who revolted when video showed up on Instagram. They were pissed off. They're like, I can't believe you're bringing video. I don't want to watch videos. I just want to see cool, artsy photos of what people are eating. I don't want to watch videos, all right? A friend of mine who's an artist, Jeff Rainey, actually commented and said, I am leaving Instagram because they've launched video. So Instagram did a great job of launching their brand on a specific platform. They have now said, hey, we've got this great user base, we're going to add video to that. Vine was almost exactly the opposite, and more of an internal project inside of Twitter that launched outward, and Twitter already had a massive user base. So guess what? It was really easy to sign up for Vine. If you had a Twitter account, you logged in, boom, you're done. And instantly add your friends, do a lot of things that were already integrated with Twitter. They didn't have to build up their user base. So when people ask me, they're like, which one should I use? Well, the first question I ask is, where is your target audience? So are your customers, are the people that you're wanting to target already using one of these platforms? If they are, then that's where you need to go. Secondly is, I think you should use both. I think they have different applications. You would be surprised the difference between 15 seconds of video and 6 seconds of video. There is a big gap there. A lot of times I'll find myself when I'm recording something on Instagram, I'll be like, man, is it over yet? Can I take my thumb off the screen, please, now? I feel like 6 seconds is appropriate for some things, 15 seconds is appropriate for other things. Let's talk a little bit about the platforms that they're available on. Vine is currently available on iOS, Android, and Windows. You can go download it right now on those platforms. The app itself has a couple of different features built into it. And what I'm again encourage you to do is if you've already downloaded, you can open it up while I'm pulling it up right now. Vine has done a great job of staying simple as well, in keeping that when you record it, you basically have a few things that you can do. You can swap the camera, you can turn on a grid, you can do location, and just real simple stuff. Once you post it, then you can tag people in it, you can add hashtags to it, and you can do that Foursquare location based as part of it. And then when you share it, you can post it to Twitter, obviously, Facebook, and those are your only options. Now, Instagram, they just announced 1 hour ago, I don't know if you heard this or not, but they are now available on Windows. So it'll be interesting to see the adoption for that. The only problem with Instagram being on Windows, no video yet. Yeah, which is really interesting to me. So literally just an hour ago they announced, hey, we're coming to the Windows platform, but we're not bringing video. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly that comes along. So what I'd like to do is actually record some stuff, pull it up and play it on here and let you guys take a look at it and see how it goes, and then go right into questions, because I really want you guys to be able to share, hey, this is what I need to know. Why should I use this for my business, etc. So real quick, I'm going to pull up and record a quick clip, and then we'll play it back. And do we have a microphone that we can pass around? Excellent. And we'll go right into questions. So I'm going to go ahead and swap this camera here, and I'll start out on me. And I'll just hit the screen here and say, hello, Streaming Media West. And then I'm going to swap the camera back around. And then you guys wave. Ready? Wave. Woo! All right, so we got our video. So I'm going to go ahead and post it. Comes with this nice little green checkbox on it that I just hit. I can add the location, which I'm going to do. And again, location's all powered by Foursquare, so they're just tying into the API for Foursquare. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Huntington Beach Lifeguard Tower number 13, because I like screwing with Foursquare. And we'll say hello. from at Streaming Media. It also pulls up a nice list of your Twitter followers. So when you hit that little @ symbol, lets you pull up your followers right away. I can add it to a channel. Vine has created channels which allow you to do comedy videos or etc. Allows them to easily be searched. The channels themselves, I think, have a little bit of work to be done. There's no technology channel. So when I post something tech, there's not a tech channel that I can post it in, so I'd like to see more channels. And I'm going to share this to Twitter, and then I'm going to go pull it up right now, and we'll take a look at it here. Does it show up in the Twitter search stream? Great question. So the question was, does it show up in the Twitter search stream? Yes, it does if you post it to Twitter. Now, what's interesting is, as we'll see in just a second, Instagram has sort of added to and fleshed out their Instagram.com/ThinkJose. So you have user pages where you can see all the users' videos, etc. Vine has not done that yet. So Vine.co is actually, some of the videos are public, but they have just a hash of numbers and letters, etc. There's no Vine.co/ThinkJose. And they haven't added that functionality yet. What I think initially was the concern is we want this to be really baked into Twitter, so we want people to use Twitter and then have Vine be kind of this add-on to it. But you can still find all that by searching. So like for instance, if we go in here and let's just do a search for SM West 13. Let's see if it's pulled up yet. Oh, I didn't tag it. Haha. I forgot to tag it. So we'll just do @ Streaming Media. So here we go. So you can see hello from @ Streaming Media, and you'll see the Vine right there. Now I can just view this media right in screen. So I can actually see the video in my search string right there. And of course, Vine comes muted, and so does Instagram when you're scrolling through on your phone. So you can actually watch a video without it, pulling up that fun. Imagine scrolling through, and all of a sudden you've got a nice, loud, "Hey, what the F you doing?" And you're like, "Whoa, I need to unfriend that person." So I can pull this up and we'll. Hello, Streaming Media West. There you go. Hello, Streaming Media. And again, Vine loops. So Instagram will play once, stop, Vine loops. So you can see that. So have we had anybody post anything yet? Let's look and see. Remember, there's fabulous prizes. Just kidding. Oh, you just did it on Instagram? We'll look there in a second. So are there any other questions about Twitter itself as far as posting Vines to Twitter or posting Vines to Vine? Yes, question. I'm just curious there, what aspect ratio you shot this way? If you shot this way, do you display the proper aspect ratio? No. It's, and that's one problem that, it's a problem. They would probably view it as a feature. It's like, hey, this is what we want to do, is we want to create these size videos. Now, you do actually get the option to embed these, which I like. So for instance, like if I go to, let's pull up one of these. So for instance, if I go to this Vine here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, I've got an embed code here. So I can actually embed this onto a page, and it gives me some options on size-wise. And it's got an autoplay audio turn on and off functionality, so you can actually have it autoplay when you post it on. The postcard size actually includes the little who posted it, and any relevant links to it as well on the page itself. It allows other people to share it if you have a public account. And again, both Instagram and Vine allow you to have public or private. So if it's private, only people that you are following or only people that you allow to follow you can see your posts. both on Vine and Instagram. The embed functionality, this is nice, and it's fairly recent on both Vine and Instagram. It's not something that was there when they initially launched, and it's something that a lot of people have been asking for, particularly, bloggers that are posting things online or people that are wanting to catalog several different things. Celebrity Vines and Instagrams are really hot, so people are putting, hey, here's what one person did, and then here's what another person did, et cetera, posting all those in a row, kind of cascading those down, letting people play those and watch those all on the same page. So that's what the embed code looks like for those Vines. So let's, any other questions about Twitter or Vine before I put up the Instagram? Yes?
I guess it's kind of a general question for both. Do you notice a difference in the type of content that people are posting, like between Instagram or Vine? Is it kind of like a Vimeo, YouTube situation?
Yeah, that's a great question. So she's asking what type of audio or what type of video do you see on Vine versus Instagram? Is there a difference in the type of the content similar to Vimeo versus YouTube, which is a great example. I would say that, and this is just in my experience of looking at what, users in general are doing, but also brands and companies are doing, is that Vine feels to me announcements, product rollouts, things like that on the company side. On the individual side, I see a lot of silly storytelling, little clips that you can kind of capture really quick and instantly. Instagram feels a little more storytelling to me, feels a little bit longer form content. Again, it's a little over double the time, so you have some more time to do that. What's interesting to me is that because Instagram is photo and video, when video first came out, Instagram was just nuts. Everybody was posting videos, et cetera, and that's kind of dropped off. You'll see if you go to a typical Instagram page, that it'll be about 1 to 10, 1 to 20. So you'll see 20 photos and 1 video, kind of a rough ratio. So people, I think, have I would like to see the numbers on it. I don't think they'll release that to us, but I would assume that what probably happened is when they launched video, it was just like, and then it's kind of tapered off as people are like, I'm just going to post a photo. But obviously with Vine, you've got to post a video every time. So. Can you connect from the photos to the video? No, it's all together. You can choose the cover slide. So in other words, when you take an Instagram video, it will let you pick which image is the cover slide for it. But once you shoot the video, that's what you're posting. So when you post the video on Instagram, and I'll just go ahead and pull it up and show you what it looks like. So when I post like for instance, you can kind of scroll through and see these are all photos. And you'll see anytime it's got the little white play button up on the right-hand side, that's a video. So when I play that video, you'll notice that cover slide was not the first image. It was one that I picked. That's snow the other day. That was a week ago we had snow in Northeast Tennessee. I'm glad I'm here on the West Coast right now. Yes, it does. Yep. It's basically just a transport bar at the bottom that you slide across to pick the image. Yes?
Related to the earlier question, just about the different types of content on the 2 platforms, you mentioned that CNN are using Instagram to source content around breaking news. Aside from the Brazil protest back in June, have you ever seen an example of where a Vine video has been used in the service of news?
That's a great question. I have not seen one that I can recall off the top of my head. I have, when I was doing research and pulling together some more information on Vine, it did source 2 or 3 major news events that were broken on Vine. But I would say that it's a similar ratio probably to the users, where it's Vine probably 2 or 3 major events, whereas Instagram video has had quite a few major events. Yeah, if you don't, let me pull it up because I'm trying to remember. It was an interesting, let me see. I'll tell you because it was. February 1st, 2013, a Turkish journalist used it to document the aftermath of a suicide bombing outside the U.S. Embassy in Turkey. for which he found that 6 seconds of video covered all the important details. Yeah. So it's interesting to me that that is one example, whereas Instagram video has had quite a few. And we're starting to see that more again, where other brands are using it to promote their brand and to gather more content. I think it is pretty clear that Instagram is winning that battle right now, partially because of a rabid fan base that says, we love this for the photos. Okay, we'll finally accept the video. And in reality, when you pull up a phone, it's muscle memory. What do you go to first? The one that you use the most. And so for a user to be able to say, I got to make a split-second decision between Instagram and Vine, I'm going to go to the one that I use the most. And that's what I find myself doing a lot as well, where I'm trying to, put social media across lots of different platforms. I have to go, oh yeah, I need to post something to Vine today. And you'll see that a lot, I think. Yeah.
Is there a workflow to take video from a production camera into Instagram?
Great question. So the question was for those watching the video, is there a workflow for getting professional video shot with a different device or a different camera onto Instagram and Vine? The answer is yes and no. Initially, when they both launched, it was all just iOS. They weren't even on Android, and you had to use your iPhone to do that. Instagram now allows you to upload video from here. So you can shoot video, put it on your phone, and then upload it into Instagram. Vine is still not offering that functionality yet, and there's still a ways to go, I think, with adding that on. Am I correct in saying that? I'm pretty sure. I'm looking at you. Because I've shot videos, but I don't think there's a way yet to do Vine via that. Yes?
Do you have any idea why they use the square format?
Why they use the square format? Yes, I do know exactly why. Because when they launched the app, they said, we want it to look exactly like a Polaroid picture. And it was totally a style retro theme. They said, we want this to be cool. I mean, even the logo itself, if you look at the logo, is a Polaroid camera. That's why Instagram said, we want this to be something that looks retro, feels retro, and you go through all the different filters that they have, and a lot of them come from old camera filters. So you'll get the red, the tinged red, the black and white, the different filters that they use all came from retro style cameras. So the whole theory in going with that was not a business decision. It was not a what's best for format and what can we use for high definition televisions. It was, we want to be cool and hip and do something that feels like it's an old Polaroid camera. Why did they copy it? Because guess what? They all copied it. After they saw the success of Instagram, there was a flurry of, Super 8 was one that came out that was a social video sharing. Mixbit, all these other, kind of apps and things that came along after all saw the success of Instagram and said, well, we're going to do Square too. So Square was definitely a style choice, not a, yes. No. When you pull it up, it's right in the center. So it pulls it across the middle, and it gives you a little square. Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's correct. You're shooting that square. Yeah.
I would just add, I'm sure it wasn't just style, it was the fact that the vertical video syndrome is pretty horrible. You don't know what they shot it as.
Yeah, you're right. And I don't agree with a square format. I think it is horrible. But it was something that I think they looked at, people are doing this. So what can we do to make it easy to share and to make it easy?
Do you know anything about the back end of what they're doing in terms of streaming of all this video?
Yeah, the back end side, I know a little bit in that it's, just most of them are Flash. If you play a little Flash clip. But as far as the back end of how they're streaming it out, I don't know. I can find out some more and give you some more information. Give me your card and I'll do some more digging and find out for sure. Both of these folks in trying to dig kind of underneath the level have not been real, revealing with how they're doing this and what they're sharing. So it'll be interesting to see if they reveal that. I would think. Again, one of the other things too that's interesting is this really started out as, you have to remember, this was a user generated and a very B2C focused idea when it first launched. It was about, well, how can the cool kids share what they're wearing, what they're listening to music, where they're hanging out. So this was very much a UGC focused app when it launched. And then all of a sudden it becomes hot and all the brands and everybody goes, ooh, we want to be there too. And now you're even starting to see ads on Instagram. And so it's one of those things that it's become hot and popular. And so all the brands are wanting to play there and put their professionally produced content up on it and et cetera, when it started out as, kids sharing photos.
Talking about getting the professionally produced content up there, do you know, does it require like a certain file format? And does the square formatting present any sort of issue?
Yeah, and I have seen on several of the folks that have been doing this, let me see if I can, yeah. Where's Nike's?
I think that might answer your question too. If you can get your professional video on your smartphone
Yeah.
device and upload it through Instagram.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of, and it's hilarious to think that we've dumbed down our workflow to how can I get my professionally produced video onto my smartphone and then upload it to share. I will say that some of the videos that Instagram is doing now for their ads look to me like Instagram has probably produced those for those folks. And I would have a feeling that we're not too far off from seeing an Instagram Pro. I can't confirm that, but I would almost guarantee that that's in the works. We've seen that with a lot of other things where like Facebook, and now there's a Facebook Pages app that just allows you as a brand to manage your page. So I would almost guarantee that Instagram is working on some kind of Instagram Pro where that will allow you as a professional to have a better workflow for getting your video and photos onto Instagram. I haven't seen or don't have any inkling that that's going on for Vine and Twitter. Other questions, things that you guys are interested in as far as stuff I can show you? I can pull up that other, show you a couple other things on Instagram as well. One thing about the embed code for Instagram is that's it. So features and functionalities as far as embedding for Instagram is much more limited than it is for Vine. How are you all looking to use this tool? Is there specific outlets that you're looking to use this, whether it's for a brand or for yourself or for a company? Yes?
I don't have an answer for that, but I wanted to answer a question before. Obviously, it's like use it on the phone type of app.
Yeah.
Is there even a desktop interface?
No, that's... Yeah, and that's the question for the video is there a desktop interface for this? And the short answer is no. They're both of these really started out being totally mobile focused. And right now, Vine doesn't even really have user pages. It doesn't have pages where I can go look at all my content. I just have to search through and kind of find that through Twitter or through, a Google search. So Instagram has user pages and things where I can like things and comment. But again, there's not the functionality there to do that. And that's on purpose. They really said we're an app first. And that's, they've really, I think, been forced into creating these pages because they see people that want to embed the content. They want to share it. And they realize, oh, that's viral. If we allow people to post our, Instagram videos and Vine videos on other websites, then that'll drive more traffic to them. More people can like it and comment, et cetera. So they've really been forced into using the web as a way to interact with folks. But it'll be interesting to see, again, now that their Instagram is in Facebook's gentle care, and that it'll be interesting to see how they pursue growing up a little bit and being more of a web-based tool than just a mobile tool. Yes? That's an excellent question. So what other tools are out there that are competing? Who else is in the space? One that I'm really interested that I'm watching right now is Mixbit. Mixbit.com, you can go. It's an app on both Google Play and Apple. This one is really interesting to me because it allows for mixing of videos. So what happens is you create these little short clips of video on your phone, and you can upload it to a public database that allows anybody to take your little snippet of video and then create longer videos from it. So you can upload all your own content and mash up together a movie, or you can just pull clips that other people have shot and create something bigger. I really like the functionality on this one. The user interface is really good on the phone to be able to upload, shoot, and then mix videos together. This is one of the features that I like to see. I like mixing stuff. I like people remixing and sharing, and that functionality is not available on Instagram or Vine. So Mixbit for me is a one to watch. They're not. I think they've maybe been around 3 months or so, maybe longer, maybe a little longer than that. So they're fairly new to the space, but they're definitely an interesting player to watch. Some of the others that you probably heard of just on the little video clip side are things like Snapchat or Kik or other things that are more direct text messaging, back and forth, private messaging, those kind of tools. Those are competitors as well, because you're seeing a lot of people that are using Instagram and Vine as a way to share something with someone. Hey, baby, I love you. How are you doing? Or, hey, look at this game. Or, hey, here's what's going on. So you're seeing that as definitely a competitor for social video sharing. On the YouTube side, the YouTube upload app that's for smartphones is really trying. Man, they're trying to get people to capture those smart videos or small videos and upload them to YouTube. It makes it a lot easier for sure. I remember it used to be horrible to try to get your video from your phone up to YouTube, particularly if you were an iOS user a while back. They've made it a lot easier. What's the other one? Super 8 was one that was a mashup of Instagram-like filters. So it's SUPR 8. Has all the different filters and crackle camera effects and things that you can add over top of your videos. And then let's see what else I've downloaded recently and put in my create video thing. Another one that's still out there that's, it's the old Justin.tv that rebranded as SocialCam. SocialCam is still around. It's nowhere near as popular as any of the other ones, but I really like it, and I still use it occasionally. So it's definitely one to check out. SocialCam, is sprung out of Justin.tv's old app, and it's pretty good. I've used it, and it'll do longer video clips too. You can do a couple minutes with SocialCam as well. What other questions can I help answer? Any specific needs or things that you're struggling with trying to decide to use these tools or business decisions around them? One disclaimer I always like to say is just remember, read the terms of service for these social apps and for anything social. Most of the time when you upload something to them, it becomes theirs and they get to use it how they see fit. So be aware of that, particularly as a business and a company. If you are using these tools to create content, to share content, technically it becomes theirs when you give it to them. So just be aware of that. That's why we have shows like this where you have all this hardware and software and et cetera, because sometimes it's still a good idea to own the content and be able to control it. Yeah.
So you actually lose the right to the clip? Or you share the right?
Yeah, and that's what, if you actually go through and read, it says, we retain ownership, but we still reserve the right to let you use it. Yeah. Well, no, and it's not come up. But if you actually read like Facebook's terms of service agreement, if you go through and read, it actually says that basically it's ours. We let you use it on our platform, but it's ours. So you really need to be careful of that. And that's why I strongly encourage people to make sure on the business decision side that you're like, hey, it's okay if we put our content here and let it go. And particularly for somebody like Doritos, if they're making a product announcement, I'm going to get much more, out of sharing this and letting other people use it than I am by, I'm not going to go around suing people for,
So you could still monetize that somewhere else if you wanted.
Definitely. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I don't say that to discourage you from using it, just as an FYI.
Does that also work, like, let's say you capture an Instagram video and you post that to another channel, even though it's not recorded with Facebook, or you're just posting it to your Facebook page? Does the terms of service still apply to that?
So that's an interesting question. I'm not an attorney, by the way, and I don't play one on TV. But the question is if you record a video with Instagram and post it online and then you want to share it somewhere else, do the terms of service still apply? And I would say that's a pretty sticky issue, and I don't know. I will say that there's, the legality of that, in my mind, would be better served if they used Creative Commons licensing. Like, for instance, on Flickr, when I post a photo or a video, I get to choose the licensing. So I can say, this is Creative Commons licensed for non-commercial use, but I will allow others to remix it as long as they, link back to me. So that's why I still use Flickr, and I would love to give them more money if they hadn't changed their the way that they, allow accounts to be. But it's one of those things that I would like these services to use Creative Commons. And if you want to find out more, go to creativecommons.org, and it's a way to license content online. It's free, it's easy to use, and it's a great way to be able to protect your content, but also to be able to let people share and use it. Because that's one of the great things about all these tools is the sharing part and the remixing, and that's all really fun and exciting. I just want to be able to have a way to handle that relationship better. And I think Instagram and Vine would be better served if they let people Creative Commons license their content. So we have time for maybe one more question. If anybody's got a final question about Instagram or Vine. Yes? PixArt? PixArt. Like P-I-X-A-R-T? P-I-C-S-A-R-t? Yeah, I thought Pixar. I was like, yeah, I've heard of Pixar. Is it this right here? Oh, yeah. Yes.
They're inspiring kids to be more artists.
Yeah, this is cool. This is good. Excellent, cool. I have heard that. I'll have to do some more digging on that one. There's so many of these tools. It's just amazing. If you go to, the Google Play Store, go to iOS, there are thousands of these sharing tools out there, particularly after the success of Instagram and Vine. We've seen, hundreds and hundreds of these tools pop up. So play safely. I'll be around to answer any more questions if you got some specifics, but thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Have a great afternoon. I'll see you on the beach.